I just got done doing something and I figured I would put another video up just for anybody that's looking for it. But this is my target. Wound up finding something I've been looking for about going on 5 years now. And it's a Ruger American and 7.62 by 39. I've been on the hunt for that thing. Had one in my hands about 5 years ago. Decided to get something else, thinking I'd go back to it, and then they kind of dried up. So, believe it or not, this is my first online gun purchase. So, you'll see some things taped off. That was me trying to dial it in yesterday. I was short on time. Came out here and tried to do it in very low light. It was aggravating me. So, I left it. Said I'll pick it back up tomorrow. There's 2 shots on the board at the bottom. That was from yesterday. Everything that you can see on that little target is fresh of what I just got done doing. And that's 10 total shots. I didn't need 10 total shots. I really only needed 4 or 5. That's at 100 yards. Those top 2 were high. But in that big jagged centerpiece, there's 8 shots. I know it's hard to tell, but there's 8 shots in all of that. And everything that's dialed into that orange circle is about my last 4 shots. That is sub MOA on those last 4, maybe even 5 shots. It would be right at 1 MOA, I believe, with that 5th shot included. And I am running a Vortex. I can't remember which name Vortex it is. I know it's a 3-9 power. With a 50mm lens. Went a little bit bigger to get more light in. And if you see that tree line that's up by that roadbed, that farthest big oak tree, I'm sitting just past that. And y'all, I don't have a good setup. I don't have a shooting table or nothing. I don't like to get too locked down because when you're hunting, you're not going to be all that locked down. I like a little bit of room for error from me, and it helps me tighten up what I do. But I just drove back down. Basically what I'm using is a folding porch chair on the tailgate of my Tundra, and that big shooting bag right there. So that's what I'm doing at 100 yards. I sub MOA the last 4 shots, and this is, and some of y'all gonna like the price tag on this, Hornady's 123 grain SST. That's the 50 round box. It's the steel case. It's got like that lacquer finish on it. I got one here. I really like that. That's all you need. That stuff's fairly cheap for what it is. You can see that's a price from a fairly long time ago. I've not priced these recently, but I still had a lot of those left. And there's the rifle. Like I said, 50mm lens on that, and 3-9 power. I'm kind of wishing maybe would have got like a 10 power, but I really guess at the end of the day it's really not going to need it. I don't plan on ringing that gun out no more than 200, 250 yards, but with that group that I just got, I would not hesitate at all throwing 250 yards. Tested on some steel before I tested it hunting. I tested it 300 yards. It's just got a good tight groove. You just got to figure in your drop. 7.62 by 39, not like no big super powerhouse or nothing. But that thing shoots like a baby doll. It is not a bad kick. It is not a big boom. It's a little short barrel and a little light package. And I've got a bunch of little cheap throw-up blinds everywhere that are tight quarters when you get inside of them. So that is one of the reasons I had one of those at one point that was in 5.56 or 223. It'd shoot both. And with Hornady 60 grain tap ammo, I put 10 shots in one ragged hole. These are accurate little rifles. And, you know, inflation's got a hold of them a little bit, but I basically walked out of the store with that booger right there for about $5.50. Spent a lot more on a lot worse guns, I'll tell you that. But I freaking love it. That is going to be my hunting gun moving forward until unforeseen future. I'm a 30-30 hunter. I love my 30-30. This roughly has 30-30 ballistics. But where I'm at in upstate South Carolina, other than ordering online, I get it in ordering online. I just like going in stores and buying stuff. I'm just old-fashioned, I guess. 30-30 is getting hard to find on the shelf, y'all. But anyway, 100-yard shot off the shooting bag on my tailgate. There's my little Magellan fold-up chair with those right there. I got some stuff that's even cheaper than this in my house. I can't remember the name of it. It's a steel case. It's like no coating on it, but it is a soft point. They're 125 grains. I think the brand's called MFS or something like that. Don't quote me on that. Or MFR maybe. I can't remember. I'm going to save them for a rainy day. And I'm going to try to stick with these right here. It's a 50 round box for a good price point. You know, 50 round box of that stuff, if you can find it, is about what 20 round boxes of 308 and stuff are going for now if you get something good. I love Remington Core-Lokt, but last couple boxes I've had of that, not in this gun obviously, but in a handful of different other guns, I wasn't very impressed with, and the price on them things have gone up too. So I'm looking for cheap ways moving forward to get the hunting deal done. And I just, you know, my other video was on a 9mm Ruger PCC. It did great. 80-yard headshot, 124 grain plus peas. And that deer's in my freezer. That deer made a whole bunch of burger and steaks and everything else. It did not have a problem fulfilling its purpose with putting meat in the freezer on the cheap. So I got some high dollar stuff in there too, y'all, but the older I get, the more I feel like I'm about cheap and efficient rather than expensive and flashy. So, got a real nice 308 in there that I've set up for hunting, and I hadn't even hunted with it yet. And I took it a couple times. I say that. I took it a couple times. I ain't shot nothing with it yet. But I found that online, and they've been hard to find. And I jumped on it, and I got it, and I could not be happier. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know when that 308 will get used. But I wanted it because that ammo is at least available where I'm at. It's on the shelf. Got my son a 6.5 Creedmoor. We can find it now, but for a little while we couldn't find that. So anyway, there's my junky little setup. And it's my old chicken coop that now holds my firewood. But off of that tailgate, there's that tree. Big old water oak in my field, and I was just to the left in that little gap right there, and I'm paced off dead on 100 yards yesterday. I got a little spot in the dirt marked up there, and I put 8 shots inside of 1.5 inches, and 5 of those inside of 1 inch. The last 4 was about 3/4 inch. I'm a happy man. This is what I'm gonna do moving forward, and what I'll probably do with that PC carbine. The places that I hunt, you know, I'm not hunting any big, super huge open areas. I've got places where I'm hunting where I can take 100-yard shots if I want to. If the opportunity calls for it, I could probably roll off a 200-yard shot here and there. But the majority of where I hunt is a field that we're getting ready to put a house in. My parents, or my family land out at my parents' place. And, you know, I've got freezers full of deer in there that are all 100 yards or less. So, we got hogs starting to show up out there too. So they've been in this area for a long time. They just starting to show up on that property the last couple of years. So, I don't know. If I go to start baiting for hogs and I want to get a bunch of them, like I said in that last video, I might take that 9mm Ruger carbine and see if I can roll off as many shots as I can. Try to get them out of there. I mean, they're a good food source, but they tear that property up bad. It's not a big property. It's about 11 acres. Not a very big property at all, but there's some good property around it. And the animals move through it. They always have. They don't have a problem going through there. I don't have a problem eating on them when they decide to go through there. So, it's not the only place I hunt, but that's the majority of what I hunt because it's convenient. So, but anyway, I don't want to keep this too long. I just thought I'd show the new hotness And anybody else that's one, this is another thing I was a little bit excited about. That big 50mm lens looks like it's touching that barrel. Y'all, it ain't. I mean, it is just barely not touching that barrel. Same thing with the adjustment there, your power adjustment. It is barely not touching the back side of that mount. Ruger did good. It's a little bit of a tall mount, so that's barely squeezes on there, but it sits real nice and low, and I like my scopes to sit low as I can get them. And no, that does not get in the way for me powering up and down, because I just pinch 2 fingers on either side and twist left or right, and it does what I want it to do. So yeah, I don't know if I'll stick with that scope or not. Right now it's doing the job. Now that it's adjusted, my only ding on that particular Vortex scope is when you are turning your turrets to dial in your crosshairs and you're waiting for clicks. Those clicks are super soft. I like to hear a big loud and feel a big click when I move those things. And those, my hearing is really bad. And depending on the day, my feel in my hands ain't that good. And those things just have a real soft click when you move them. Really soft. And it's to the point where I'm not real happy about it. But right now it's dialed in. So as long as I don't bump it out, ain't no point in touching it. And that scope there, $140 I think is what I paid for that. Yeah, that one I think was about $140. I wish Nikon still made scopes. I got a bunch of Nikons on some other guns, and those are my favorite. But this will do. All right, y'all have a good one.